Sup you guys, I'm back with another video. Even though this is literally just a last minute thing, I'm bored. I was sitting in my room. I was watching Riverdale, but I usually stick to about 2 to 3 episodes per day because I've only just started watching Riverdale. So, I'm trying to catch up, finish season 1. Now I'm on season 2. I've watched about 3 episodes today, so I was like, let me not for the rest of the night. So then I was like, hey, let's make a YouTube video. Though, yeah, again, this was a last minute idea. I'm going to be doing a story time since that seems to be really popular on YouTube nowadays. So, this story time's about me cutting my head open and also being in a car crash the same day. So yeah, let's get into it. And also, I'm going to be taking off my makeup whilst I'm talking because, that seems like a fun pastime. I bet you guys are thinking, Shania, what are you talking about? What makeup? You must be naturally this beautiful. No, I'm wearing makeup. Minimalistic makeup, but makeup nonetheless. I'm wearing foundation, eyeshadow, was wearing lipstick, but I ended up rubbing it off because it was getting annoying. So yeah. Okay, so have my very luxurious makeup wipes here, aka just flipping cotton pads I got from Body Care. And my also very luxurious makeup remover, aka Nivea cleansing toner. This isn't makeup remover, but it works just as fine. Anyways, let's get onto the story. So this was back when I was 8 years old. Don't exactly remember the month because, who has time to be remembering exact dates, when I was about 8, actually it wasn't when I was about 8, I was 8 years old. I feel like it may have been in like May. I was in primary school. Just a little Shania, small bean, running around, playing with her friends. I was a tomboy back then. Like, I am still kind of a tomboy, but I was much more of a tomboy than I am now, back then. So, yeah, just little tomboy Shania, running around, playing with her friends. I was friends with the boys and the girls, but, like, the boys were my boys, the girls were my girls. Boys were like my brothers. Anyways, going off track. So, here I am, running around with my friends, as we usually do, playing Bulldog, playing It, playing football. On this particular day, we were just having a race, because there was a girl in my year, she was one of my friends as well, and she was known to be one of the fastest girls in the borough. So I was like, hey, I could beat you in a race, what are you talking about, blah, 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 because I also liked running. So yeah, I was like, hey, let's have a race. So we decided to race from the bottom of our playground to the gate at the far end of our playground. So that was fine, and a lot of people ended up joining in, not for the fact of like racing, but just decided, hey, let's run with them because that seems like fun. So we're running, and I'm just enjoying my little old life, and then out of nowhere, I feel a foot being stuck out in front of me. Well, I didn't feel the foot being stuck out in front of me. A foot was stuck out in front of me, and I felt myself trip over it. And this is when we're getting nearer towards the gate. So, like, it's near the end of the race. Someone sticks their foot out and trips me up. I know exactly who did it, but I'm not about to name names. I don't even know the guy anymore. I don't even know if he still exists. Probably dead. I don't know. But, yeah. So, yeah. Someone sticks their foot out. He was in the year above me, or 2 years above. Don't remember. And trips me up. I've taken a lot of tumble and falls, though. So, I'm like, it's a minor. Falling, and I end up smacking my head against the fence. It's this massive green metal fence, and I end up smacking my head against it. But as I said, I fell over, hit my head on things countless amounts of times, so I wasn't too fussed about it. Obviously it hurt, but I thought, okay, I was just gonna have a cocoa on my head and have a bruise. Nothing major. So I'm sitting on the floor, like, just holding my head because it hurts. And then I look to the bridge of my nose and I see blood. And I'm like, where the hell did this blood come from? And because I see blood, I start panicking. Like, I wasn't crying or anything, wasn't panicking. Then I see blood, and by instinct, I panicked because you're not really used to seeing blood fall down the bridge of your nose. If you're going to see blood from your nose, it's going to be here. Anyways, so I started panicking, started crying in front of everyone, because everyone saw me trip, everyone saw me fall, everyone saw me hit my head. So, like, people who are older than me, people who are younger than me are coming up beside me, like, oh my god, and I didn't know what they were oh my godding at first until I saw the blood, and I was like, oh, well, crap, this has happened. So yeah, then teachers get called, but because, you know, the school system is ridiculous and stupid, they're not allowed to touch you. If you hurt yourself in school, they're not allowed to touch you by law, apparently, because they don't want to get in trouble if they accidentally hurt you or some crap like that. But, you know, one teacher actually, well, she was a dinner lady, had common sense and knew that she had to help me because I was in a state of shock. So she picked me up and brought me to the office, ignoring the school's rules, because the school is stupid. I hated my primary school, just saying. Like, I liked some of the teachers and I loved my friends, but the primary school in itself was crap. Anyways, so I'm in the office now, still panicking, and bearing in mind my head is cut open, the teacher gives me an ice pack. An ice pack. Really? Anyways, so they've called my mum, and my mum runs in and she's panicking because obviously your child's head is bleeding. Like, who gets called and says, hey, yeah, your child ran into a fence and now their forehead is bleeding? No one, right? So yeah, that happened. My mum ran in panicking and they called an ambulance. Ambulance comes, my mum gets in the ambulance with me, and she's just, like, she's kind of stopped panicking. I've stopped panicking too. Like, I stopped crying and I stopped panicking. It still hurts, but it's kind of like I'm just pushing it aside. And so yeah, we get to the hospital. My mum's called my nan and my dad and my aunt to come and pick us up. She called my aunt to come pick us up, and she called my nan and my dad to let them know what's happened. My dad comes, just talks to me for a bit, and then he has to go. And my nan stays with us. And so the nurse patches up my head. Bearing in mind, my head, where it was cut open, I can actually, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a line right here. It's a permanent scar from where my head was cut open. And, sorry, there's something in my eye. And when my head was open, like, when the wound was open, it looked like a third eye. Like, you could see my skull first and foremost. Like, if you got rid of all the blood and washed it away, you could see, like, a white bit, which was my skull. And yeah, it looked like a third eye. I looked like I had an eye right here on top of my forehead. So yeah, I've actually got a picture of it. I'll see if I can get the picture in the video. This is the picture that I have of my head, you know, when I cut it open. There's my eyes, and then there's the third eye, as I like to call it, because it does really just look like I had a third eye on top of my head. They've patched up my head with butterfly stitches, where basically they glued the two bits of open skin together and then put tape and like a bandage and tape, so it kind of keeps it shut. The glue keeps it shut, and then it just stops me from itching it pretty much. So I've been given butterfly stitches, and that's the end of that. I cut my head open, and yeah, that's it. So we're on, obviously my mum's not going to send me back to school if I've just cut my head open at school. She's not going to send me back to school. So we was planning on going to my other auntie's house, not the one that picked me up, but a different one. We was going to go to her house. And so my aunt that picked us up, we all got in her car. Me, my mum, my nan, and my aunt. We all got in her car, and we're on my way to my auntie's house, my other auntie. Yeah, we're all on our way to her house. Just fine, I'm perfectly fine. My head's not hurting that much anymore. I've got my stitches. No problems. Then, out of nowhere, we're coming down it sounds really stupid, but like a four-way street, so it's kind of crossed like this. And I think, if I remember correctly, we were coming this way, and a car was coming downwards towards us. So, like, we're going this way. The car is going that way. And she was meant to stop, as far as I'm concerned. Like, we were further ahead, and she was meant to stop, but she didn't. The person in the other car, she didn't stop. So she comes head-on collision with my aunt's car, and my aunt's car spins. Like, it was spinning for a while. Spins, 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 and crashes into someone's wall. Yeah, someone who lived in that area, their wall ended up getting broken because of the crash. And so, obviously, this is a shock, because I'm just coming back home from the hospital. I don't know what's going on, and then I'm in a car crash. Like, what? I didn't know what was going on. And next thing you know, I hear, like, because I don't really remember that much, but all I do remember is hearing my nan yelling. Like, she was going off on one, because I think the woman in the other car, she was saying how she didn't want to she didn't want us to press charges and this, that and the other, and some people had come out of their car, I think it was, like some other people, and they was like, oh no, it's fine, let's not get the police involved. And my nan went absolutely ape. She was like, not get the police involved, my granddaughter is in the car with her head bleeding. And I don't think they believed her, or maybe they did and my nan was just being persistent, but she was like, come here, because after the crash had happened, I would assume my wound opened back up and my head started bleeding again. So my nan, like, pulled them with her and was like, look, my granddaughter's head is bleeding and you're telling me that you don't want to get the police involved, this and the other. It was hilarious. Like, I love my nan so much, God rest her soul. But yeah, so my nan's going off on one, my aunt's trying to, like, worry about her car and about us that's in the car. And actually, I'm pretty sure my mom was pregnant. Hold on. 8 years old. How old was I when Sasha was born? I'm... How many years older than Sasha? Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, my mum was pregnant. So that's also another reason to be worried. My head's bleeding because I just got my head bust open at school, and my mum's pregnant and she's in a car crash. It's kind of a worrying situation. Anyways, so long story short, we ended up telling, like, obviously calling the police and whatever, and we ended up having to get solicitors and whatever. But their eyes actually light at the end of this story, because I was involved in a car crash and because of my head injuries, I ended up getting compensation. So did my family, but also I ended up getting compensation. I think I got, actually I don't even remember, but all I know is I got money from compensation because I was in a car crash and my head started bleeding. So I guess that's the light at the end of the tunnel, if you want to call it that. So yeah, and with the compensation money, I bought myself some new clothes, even though I'm not really the one for clothes shopping. Like, honestly, since I was a kid and up until this day, don't really like clothes shopping that much. Like, I'm really not fond of it. Obviously, you need to because you got to wear clothes, but I'm not too fond of it. But yeah, got myself some clothes, and then me, my aunt, my younger cousin, and my aunt's friend, we ended up going on holiday. Yeah, we went to St. Lucia on, I don't remember the exact date, but I know it was in October. I feel like it might have been October 21st or something. But all I know is it was a few days after my birthday, my 9th birthday. We ended up going to St. Lucia, and that was really, really fun, actually. Like, it was probably one of the best memories, like, some of the best memories I've had in my life so far. It was great, like, because I'd never been, properly abroad. Like, I'd never been on a plane. And so being able to go on a plane, go to a hot country in the Caribbean, and just get to enjoy myself and relax, it was really, really fun. So yeah, that is my makeup gone, I would hope. Even though whenever I wear makeup, there's always makeup left over, and I just can't be asked. But yeah, that is the end of my story, pretty much. So yeah, back when I was 8/9 years old, I cut my head open. Again, not sure if you can see the scar, but it's right there. It's going to be a permanent scar. Cut my head open, was in a car crash. My nan went ape about it, and then I ended up getting money. So yeah, that is the end of my story time. First story time I've ever done, and to be fair, I think it was pretty good, if I do say so myself. So yeah, end of my story time. So I'm not sure when I'm next going to upload, because as I've said multiple times, I'm inconsistent and I like to procrastinate. But when I do upload, great. So I'll leave all of my links and social media in the description, and might leave my link to my last video, even though there's really no point. But yeah, so I will see you guys when I see you guys. Bye.